Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a recipe together. One of my favorite recipes that I've loved all along this journey, this 30-day cleanse from meat and alcohol. And it's a Dahl recipe, my twist on a Dahl, but it's been really hearty and really warm here in the winter, and I'm so excited to share it. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to my kitchen. I'm excited. This is my first cooking video that I'm doing for you guys. I know that it was requested that I show you a recipe that I've liked to make along this cleanse that I've been doing, the 30-day cleanse from alcohol and meat. It's been tough to just create meals all the time, but this is one of my favorites. It's a Dahl from the High Vibrational Beauty book, which is not a cookbook. It's more of like a guide for healthy living, for high vibrational living. High Vibrational Beauty. I never really follow recipes to the T. I always make it my own, but I'll go through everything that the recipe calls for and just explain how I like to switch it up. Because I'm adding extra things that they don't talk about, like split peas and chili beans, oh, and I'm also adding diced tomatoes. I want it to be really hearty. The last time I made it, y'all, it disappeared. So I'm gonna also double this recipe so that I make a lot more and we don't run out as quick as we did the last time. So you're going to need a few tablespoons of coconut oil. I like to use extra virgin. A couple tablespoons of ground turmeric. And I like getting mine from the farmer's market. Also ground coriander. And that's probably one of my favorite spices to cook with. You'll need a couple tablespoons of that as well. The recipe calls for a couple cloves of garlic minced, but I'm just gonna use a couple tablespoons of it. And it also calls for chili peppers, but I'm just gonna throw some cayenne pepper in there because that's what I had. Himalayan pink salt. I'm also adding a can of chili beans. The recipe doesn't include chili beans, but I liked having beans in it the last time because it makes it a lot more filling. Fresh cracked black pepper is always really good. I'm gonna use about 2 teaspoons of that. I love fire roasted diced tomatoes better than any other diced tomatoes, so I'm just choosing to use that. The whole can of coconut milk. I know that since I'm doubling this recipe, I'm gonna end up using both those cans. The recipe in the book calls for 1 cup of lentils, but I'm gonna use 2 and make a big pot. And you can just rinse them off with a strainer and set them to the side in a bowl. I'm gonna chop up the entire onion. The recipe also calls for a yellow onion, but I like adding color to my meals, so I'm using purple. I'm also a rebel. And split peas. I'm adding a cup of split peas for extra texture in my Dahl. And 4 cups of filtered water, but I'm using 8. So first I'm gonna chop the onions up by hand. Yes, there were tears. And that's healthy, that's okay. It's therapeutic to chop things up by hand. And I'm gonna throw it into the pot and let it cook with the coconut oil. also with the seasonings, all together, and let them become clear. They'll turn translucent. It'll become a paste at the bottom of a pot. And I'm going to add my lentils, and I'm going to stir them all up as everything is cooking in the pot, and just give them a little color, give them a little heat before we add everything else. And then I'm going to add the split peas, and I'm going to mix them up together so that once we add the water and the coconut milk, everything can cook together. And this is the easy part. This is the fun part. Once everything is good and roasted, you're going to add your filtered water and also the coconut milk. Make sure to go slow because it will splash into your face and it's not fun. Mix it all up together, show it some love, and then add the diced tomatoes. And I'll mix that all up and bring it all to a boil. Then you just start to add seasonings as you go along, as you taste it and figure that it needs something else. And I'll always add the beans last because they're already cooked and I don't want them to get too mushy. And once everything is mixed up with love and attention, and you've added seasonings as your intuition has guided you to, you let it boil for at least 2 hours. And I know that sounds like a long time, but it's really worth it in the end. The trick is just to stand over it and keep tasting it as it cooks and add what you need to add. You can't oversalt the dal, so just make sure you give it love and sing over it and dance while you're in the kitchen, and it'll be the best, I promise. Especially now that it's getting colder out, it warms the hearts of everyone in this house. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you give it a try. It's not as daunting as it seems. Just get all the ingredients you need and throw them in the pot with love and attention, and it will turn out fabulously. I believe in you. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't. And I look forward to sharing the rest of my journey with you. Hopefully this warms your belly as well. Until next time, y'all.